Here you, this is Yellow Potato. And this is What If Asta was a reincarnation of Gojo, Satoru, Kakashi Hatake, and had metallic magic. Now, before I go on, I was going to record this about like 2 hours ago. Not really. I'm just doing this because I am royally fucking pissed and sad from the fact that me and Demon took 2 hours of our fucking life to play Shindo and of course do a like event boss and absolutely get absolutely nothing. Like no XP, no nothing. I am really fucking sad and pissed. Demon's probably the same, but yeah. But it took us forever because we're only like level 700 and this bitch was like level 2000, but whatever. But not the point. Let me go into this what if alignment. Let me just stop rambling on, but yeah. So, we go into Asta. Asta is right now fighting against Yami. Yami is saying, huh, I guess I'll be fighting against you, kid. He's like, huh, so I guess I'll be fighting against you, kid. Truly, I never expected I'm gonna have to fight against someone who is blind and probably doesn't want to show his face half the damn time. But okay. Because Asta's really just wearing a blindfold and, well, a mask. This is where Yami says, but whatever, let's show me what you got. He goes into the dark cloak mode. And this is where Asta goes and pulls out two kunais and says, yeah. This is where, well, he adds lightning in both of them saying, let's see what you got. This is where, well, they both rush each other, clashing every single time with metal versus metal. This is where, well, it's mostly kunai versus a sword. And this is where, well, they're clashing and fighting. This is where, well, Asta turns around, back kicks Yami into multiple trees. This is where two girls and one boy is actually watching. Nosh is seeing this and right now having stars. He always wants to always see Asta and his full power. Because Asta usually doesn't go full power on him is because of the fact that, well, he's still a child. And of course, the two girls who are actually from the Black Bulls is actually watching this and just shocked how the captain and this guy is fighting. And so where, well, they don't actually know if Asta's captain level or not. They only know that this guy is strong as fuck for not being a magic knight. And so where, well, Asta sends a powerful knee into, well, Yami. Yami managed to dodge, and this is where Naruto left. Asta sends then a lightning, kunai at, well, Yami. Yami blocks it and cuts it down to a dark cloak. This is where he cuts the kunai down and sends a dark cloak slash, well, two of them at Asta. Asta sees this, and this is where he uses Limitless to kind of block them and then just like dodge to the side and then rushes towards Yami by kind of jumping on a tree and then launching himself off of it. This is where, well, Yami and Asta are kind of fighting, and of course they're both smiling. This is where you can't really see Asta smile, but Yami is having this like grin of smile, like seeing someone who's strong. Of course, this is where they're clashing again with blade to blade, but yeah, mostly sharp edge to sharp edge, good knife to sword, but yeah. This is where, well, Asta for some reason, well, not some reason, he knows that he's the reincarnation of both Gojo and Kakashi. And Kakashi has fought a lot of people with swords or without swords or kunais, and yeah, you get the point. You know how Kakashi went against Zabuza, and that fucking sword was, well, Zabuza's sword was fucking huge. So going against, well, Yami is like no problem. But of course, going for magic is kind of difficult for him. Because, well, Kakashi and Gojo never fought against people who use magic. Mostly, Asta just had to develop something to kind of fight against magic users, but yeah. This is where, well, they're clashing and fighting. And of course, this is where, well, so many like trees, leaves, and other things are getting cut down into a million pieces because of their speed and how strong they are at. This is where, well, Asta, he kind of like appears, sliding his leg underneath Yami. And this is where Asta sends an uppercut straight towards Yami's like chin. This is where Yami does get hit and just like goes up. This is where he's like, holy, he's strong. This is where when Yami's up in the air, he takes dark cloak slashes. He sends multiple dark cloak slashes at Asta. Asta sees this, and this is where Asta says, rad, curse energy, rad. This is where, well, a red dot appears, and this is where, well, he sends it straight towards the Dark Cloak slashes. It just rips through the Dark Cloak slashes and goes straight towards Yami and launching him. This is where, well, Asta says, "No, stay here. Also, you blackball, what's it called, females, I suggest you stay here also." This is where, well, Asta, he disappears, and Asta, now she's, wait, damn it. Screw this, I'm running towards it. He's kind of trying to sense where their magic will be at. Since now she's still a child, he still hasn't, well, very well developed sensory magic. Also been kind of training him that, but yeah. This is where, well, Asta gets towards Yami, and Yami says, "You're strong without using your magic." Well, I think it's your magic, I can't tell. This is where Asta says, "No, not my magic, even close." This is where the silver, yellow, like golds, and like a bunch of dust appears. Started creating a grimoire with 7 leaves in total. That they're all different colors. And of course, this is where Asta says, "Let me show you true power. Metallic magic. Silver swords of Chelsea Fall." This is where, well, multiple swords appear. And this is where he sends them straight towards Yami. Yami starts clashing with the swords. Realize that these are actual physical, like, swords. At the same time, they're like, you can kind of hear the clash, and this is where Yami realized that these swords are actually like silver, because he can see the shiny brightness from it. That's right. Well, he says, "Interesting. He can create different types of metal, like someone I know, like Nozel." No, Nozel doesn't have a child, because if he did, this kid would have been so damn annoying, and having that goddamn ugly ass hairstyle. Ugh. This is where, well, Yami says, "But still, this kid smiles. I can feel someone like a key smiling, like he's excited for this battle." I guess I'm also excited. Let's see who's stronger. Dark Cloak slashes of, what's it called? Of darkness. What's it called? Dark Cloak slashes. He sends multiple slashes, and this time it's 10. 10 going, well, 5 going vertical and 5 going horizontal. And this is where Asta sees them all going towards him. And this is where Asta says, "Metallic magic, gold, golden shield." This is where a gold does appear. But of course, it makes a shield in front of Asta blocking the slashes. This is where Asta, he keeps running towards, well, Yami. This time he has a sword with him. He says, "Titanium sword," clashes with Yami's sword. This is where Yami feels the force of the slash. Well, mostly the clang. This is where his sword almost like feels like it got shattered. Yes, because titanium is one of the most strongest metals, so yeah. And Yami's kind of using an like iron steel sword or something like that. So of course they will clash, and of course is where Yami is smiling, seeing that the sword is completely different. It's like a shade of color of titanium. He's wondering how far does Asta knows about his metallic magic. This is where, well, he's smiling. Never seen someone be able to use powerful magic. But of course, this is where Yami can now see the magic that Asta is having. It's overflowing. This is where Asta says, "Why do you keep looking at me like that? Don't you know this is a battleground?" This is where, well, Asta goes fight against Yami. But this is where, well, Asta had the titanium sword in his left hand. This is where Yami then sees his right hand kind of creating a golden sword. This is where Asta kind of clashes with Yami. This is where the sword does bend, because gold is still pretty weak metal. It's a pretty weak metal, but this is where Asta only did it just to kind of distract Yami. Yami already knew that gold is kind of a very weak metal. This is where he didn't actually expect why Asta did it, but this is where Asta has a titanium sword over his head and about to cut Yami's head. This is where Yami widened his eyes, seeing that the golden sword is only a distraction, only something to distract him with. This is where Yami lets go of his sword and catches the titanium sword while trying to using darkness magic in his hand. This is where he says, "You're pretty strong, kid." This is where, well, Yami's trying to push the sword away, but Asta trying to push it back up towards him. This is where, well, Yami says, "You're really strong and very smart. Already knowing that gold is pretty weak and wanting to distract me." Asta's like smirks. Of course, this is where he does make that noise and say, "Well, it wouldn't be fair if I didn't know what you're talking about. This is where Yami says, I can't tell you what you're thinking about. Thanks to your, well, whole freaking blindfold and, well, mask, I can't really tell what emotions you're thinking about. But you're too damn strong. So how about this, kid? Yami pushes Asta away, and Asta does get pushed a little bit away, but this is where, well, Asta doesn't fully attack, well, Yami. Yami says, how about you join the Black Bulls? This is where Asta says, huh? Why would I join a squad? I don't either. This is where, well, Yami says, really? You don't want to go get money for your family? I already do that. I just kind of steal it from the bandits or whatever. That's where Yami says, huh? You're not scared of bandits, are you? No, not at all. You're strong, brave, and doesn't give a shit that much. So, why won't you join the Black Bulls? It's pretty fun. You get to meet other people that are similar like you. Oh, nah, I don't really care. My brother already wanted me to kind of go and become a magic knight, but I said nah, which pissed him off a little bit more. This is where Yami says, huh, your brother, is he already a magic knight? Yeah, he's the same age as me anyway. We're both 15, but he's in the Golden Dawn and he wanted me to go to the Golden Dawn, but I'm not going to the Golden Dawn because I already know there might be selfish little shits and, well, nobles and the Golden Dawn. Yami says, well, there's not even a single drop of noble and, well, the Black Wolves. Maybe if you count the Sylveon Noelle or whatever her name was again. But her brother doesn't really like her that much, so I guess you can count her as not that much royalty. This is where, well, Asta says, huh, not a single drop of royalty. Are you not royalty at all? This is where, well, Yami says, no, but I am stronger than most of the royals. Which pissed him off enough. It's funny because I'm actually a foreigner and not actually from this, from this place. I'm not from the 4 great nations. So of course, me, a foreigner, able to kind of have Grimoire and be able to have one of the rarest types of magic, darkness, kind of pisses them off a lot. That's a laugh and says, ha, that actually is truly funny. Well, maybe I'll think about it. This is where Nosh actually runs out and says, yeah, he will take it. This is where Asta says, huh? When the hell did I ever say you were going to be like the fucking spokesman for me? Nosh says, because you need to really have to, well, become a magic knight. You won't let Yuno kind of surpass you, would you? I don't think he can even surpass me at all. This is where Nosh says, well, he will still take to be in the black, what they call the Black Bulls. This is where, well, Asta says, I never said that, you little brat. Asta kind of grabs Nosh from the head, and Nosh says, ow, 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 ow. This is where, well, Asta says, so annoying little brat. Actually, wait, Nosh, what magic knight squad will you go? I don't fucking know. To get you more experience. Asta thinks, what? I think I have an idea. Sure, I would join the Black Bulls. Yami Suki, I forgot his last name, but yeah. I would join the Black Bulls and only one condition. My little brother, Nosh here, gets to also go with me. This is where, well, Yami says, wouldn't he be a distraction in the battlefield? Nah, I would take care of him from a lot of dangerous things, so it wouldn't be the first time me kind of just carrying him around. Besides, I want him to have enough battle experience before he goes into a Magic Knight squad when he's older. This is where, well, Nosh says, really? You're gonna take me like this? Yes. This is where, well, Yami says, I don't really care. You can go along also. This is where Asta says, okay. Also, one question. How did you find out I was here? Like I said, multiple, squads have more confused, and why the hell multiple girls have keep going straight towards the, foreign lands, the forbidden lands. Ha. What the fuck? Oh, so that's why I was seeing multiple of them. Okay. That's weird. Whatever. So when do I go? Or become a black ball or whatever. Oh, you can come, You don't need to go right now. I guess you can come when I have a mission for you. We do have a mission that we're gonna have to go towards the water sea temple. I don't know if you can swim. Asta says, I'm great at swimming. Now she says, I haven't even learned how to swim. Well, but now or never, and you're gonna have to learn how to swim now. This one now says, fine. And so well, Yami says, okay. Then we go into a time skip. We go into a time skip of, well, everyone from the Black Bulls are right now at the beach, and of course this is where Noelle is kind of wearing something original canon, because that was the only thing that was actually covering up a lot of things. This is where, well, Vanessa was wearing red, and of course this is where, well, Junko was wearing a dolish blue color with a little bit of red, but yeah. This is where, well, the boys are still wearing the same, but yeah. This is where, well, Magna was called Magna and Luck were kind of doing something really rough, and of course they're kind of involved Gosh and also, well, not Gordon. Gordon didn't want to do anything. He was mostly trying to talk to Gray. But yeah, that's where, well, Gray is still the giant thing. Well, the giant dude. He's not much of the girl because, well, or not he, she, because, well, Gray is a girl. Because, yeah, she's just really nervous around people seeing her face. But yeah, that's where, well, Gosh and what's it called, Magna and Luck were doing something rough, and of course they were about to send multiple attacks, not from each other, mostly towards Noelle on accident. This is where, well, Noelle was like, this is where she was about to get hit until Junko was about to use her magic to kind of try to block it, and even Vanessa. Finro tries to use his spatial magic, but of course, instead of any of them actually managing to get there, someone appears. Someone with purely white hair and kind of gray hair, defying gravity itself, wearing black shades, black round shades, and of course wearing a mask and just blocking that shit, which is absolute nothing. It just stands there in the front and just in the middle, not middle, in front of him. That's where Asta says, yeah, it's very interesting. That's where, well, he's wearing all black still, I should mention. He doesn't actually wear any beach outfit or anything. That's where, well, he's saying, that's very interesting. Is that a way for you people to treat your, well, teammates? That's where, well, Asta, he kind of just smacks the attack away because it was a combination attack with lightning, fire, well, fire explosion, and even what's called mirror magic. And Asta just destroys it in an instant with just smacking his hand into it. That's where, well, Asta just sits there, kind of putting one of his hands into, his right hand into his pocket, and having one of his other hands just freely out after smacking the magic attack away. This is where, well, Noelle was confused. Who is this person? This is where she realized the hair, and then realized the kind of, mask on him. This is where Asta says, oh, hey there. This is where, well, Noelle widened her eyes. She never thought that she was ever going to see him here in the beach, while she's wearing this. This is where, well, she kind of covers everything up because she gets scared. This is where Asta says, why are you doing that? I like that a lot. Asta kind of pulls down his mask and kind of stick out his tongue. This is where, well, he's kind of just being goofy right now. This is where, well, he's not trying to actually act kind of trying to be a playboy and all that, because, you know, Gojo might just tease a lot of people, even Urahime, or not Urahime, Orihime or something, whatever her name is, Urahime. Of course, just because he just loves teasing people. And of course, when he did it to Noelle, her face becomes extremely red, and of course she gets angry and becomes like a tsundere. So yeah, since Urahime is basically a tsundere, like in Jujutsu Kaisen, because she's 33 older than Gojo, but of course acts like a tsundere. And of course, this is where, well, Noelle's kind of the similar thing, but of course she's the same age as Asta. This is where, well, her face becomes extremely red. And of course, this is where, well, Asta says, what? Am I doing something wrong? Asta kind of goes down a little bit, down towards Noelle's eye level. And this is where, well, Asta kind of just grab her from both of her arms, or mostly her shoulders, and say, what is wrong? You might be terrified of the magic attack, weren't you? Of course, this is where Asta's smiling because he still has his mask down, and of course his teeth kind of shine in the, what's it called, sun and all that. And this is where, well, Asta is saying, what are you looking at? Noelle. This is where Noelle's like face. It comes like her face, her brain, and everything goes shut off. But of course, her face becomes red. Her brain shuts off, and this is where she just becomes kind of like dumb and confused and passes out. This is where I was just like, whoa, don't know what she did. Huh. I guess I'll be going against you people. I am your enemy anyway. This is where Gosh, Luck, and Magna kind of don't know who this person is, but then just said enemy, and of course they get ready to fight. This is where Luck says, God, fight me! This is where when Luck tries to attack Asta with lightning armor and claws and all, this is where he tries to kind of claw at Asta, and Luck can't get through the infinity. This is where Asta says, whoa, that's very interesting. Your magic's pretty interesting, but I don't care. Asta kicks him in the stomach so hard, like an upper kick to the stomach, because Luck was kind of floating in the thin air. This is where Luck goes, he passes out. This is where Magna says, why you? Fireball explosion! Sends multiple attacks at Asta. Asta just dodges it. He just uses what's called Luck's, not Luck, he kind of uses Limitless to kind of block all of it. And this is where Asta appears right in front of, Magna says, lightning style, lightning blackout. This is where, Magna gets zapped to hell, and of course is now knocked the fuck out. This is where, Gojo says, I don't know who you are, but I'll do this for Marie! Sends multiple mirrors at, Asta, so mirror magic can happen, and of course, bing, 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 because yes, the fucking light beam just goes around the mirrors. And of course, this is where, not around the mirrors, in the mirrors, and kind of just reflects mostly. This is where he says, reflection 24 mirrors. This is where, Asta gets hit by this, but of course, seems to be unaffected. He's like, wow, you're extremely weak. Very weak. Hey, you want to know why the reason I wasn't affected much from both of their attacks? You should come towards me. Besides, you should definitely know what I'm doing. That's where, yes, similar like Gojo does to what's it called, Jogo. Asta's going to basically do to Goshi. But you're my enemy. Oh, come on. I won't do anything. I promise. Julie, come on. I put my hand and I look away. This is where, Gosh goes up to Asta and does kind of put his hand towards Asta the same, like trying to grab Asta's hand and other. Mostly his hand and other. And of course, to where Gosh realized one thing: he can't even grab or touch his hand. This is where Asta instead says, I should mention what this. This is called limitless. Something that's infinity between us. This is where Asta grabs his hand and then punches him right in the stomach. This is where Ghost just knocked out. This is where Vanessa, Gray, Charmy, and a lot of people, even Gordon there, kind of freak out. This is where, Charmy says, what just happened? This is where, someone says, you went a little overboard, Big Brother? This is where, they turn around, and they see Yami, and they see a kid next to him. The kid is kind of wearing trunks, because, it's the beach and all that. He's the only one kind of wearing, some kind of, swim clothes and all that. And, of course, this is where, he has orange hair, magenta purple eyes. This is where he kind of says, if we went a little too far, Big Brother. Asta smiles and says, so what? I wanted to see how strong they were. Yami says, really have to knock out half my squad. Especially, what the hell did he do to Noelle? I didn't do anything. Seriously, I really didn't do anything. This is where, still does have his mask down. And of course the Black Bulls, everyone kind of sees this. Charmy, her eyes just twinkles. Gray actually kind of is blushing, but she's still in her form, so you can barely see it. Vanessa is going, whoa, hot. This is where Junko's face becomes extremely red, and she just has the blood nose. Because she's kind of thinking perverted, and Noelle's still knocked out. She's still out cold. This is where, Finral sees this and sees that all the girls are kind of just flirting towards Asta, and realize that whoever this is extremely good looking, and that's why, half of them kind of pass out. This is where, Finral's like, damn it, my charms, I'm never going to be able to get anyone. This is where multiple girls from the beach and all that, who are seeing this kind of fight between the Black Bulls and Asta, multiple girls started falling in love towards Asta's face because, yeah. This is where, well, Asta says, so, Yami, Captain, what do you want me to do anyway? This is where all of them kind of like blink, 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 because they all kind of just say, wait, what? Even Gojo look and what's called Magna all wake up and say, wait, what? Captain, what? This is where Yami says, I forgot to mention, this is Asta. Asta Hatake Gojo. He is one of the newest, well, members of, well, the kind of Black Boss. I never mentioned about this because, well, I just got him a while ago. This is where, oh, Magnus said, what? And he's this strong? What the hell family is he from? None. The last names are just last names that he just created because he didn't give a shit that much. This is where, well, Magnus says, that's complete bullshit. Why would you create names that you wouldn't even be a part of a family? Because I don't give a shit, Asta said. He grabs Magnus from the shoulder and says, don't give a shit. This is where Magnus feels like this presence, like this demonic evil presence appear. This is where, well, he gets kind of scared. And this is where, well, Asta says, but still, I am a new member. I lied about being your enemy and all that. Or being from an enemy place. I didn't really expect you people to attack me. Instead of asking questions, you legit attack me. Hey, I like you guys anyway. Attack first, ask questions later. Hey, that sounds a lot better like what I like to hear about, but yeah. So where, well, Magna, Luck, and, well, Gojo and I seen the new squad, and they just got their asses beat by this new member. They're supposed to be like junior ranked, something like higher ranked than Asta, and they just got their asses beat. Gojo, he doesn't give a shit. He says, I don't give a shit. The only thing I care is Marie. Asta says, I'm not gonna ask who is Marie or anything. This is where both Luck laughs and say, haha, you're pretty strong. So wanna spar again? Asta says, spar again? You legit just got your ass beat. Do you really want to fight me again? This is where, well, Luck says, of course. Fighting is all about who's stronger. This is where Asta says, I guess we can fight again. This is where, well, Magna says, hey, you idiots! What about the pride of a man? You just got your asses beat by this guy, this white-haired bastard. Asta says, I don't see no problem with it. Luck says, yeah, I don't really care about having pride or anything. Gojo says, the only pride I have is Marie. Touch her and I kill you in an instant. This is where, well, Magna says, you idiots. Ugh, fine. Welcome to the new member team. Where's your black ball rope? But I didn't get one. Yami, he didn't give me anything. This is where Magna says, huh? Captain, you didn't even give me a black bull rope? Yeah, not really. I didn't really care. But yeah. This is where, well, Yami says, we can always put it on your jacket, Asta, since you don't seem like to want to wear any robe or anything. Huh? What, the black bull sign? Sure, you can put in my, what's it called, coat and jacket. Well, mostly jacket, because he's wearing kind of black jacket. This is where, well, they all realize one thing. It is hot out here, the sun is hitting them, and Asta doesn't even seem to be kind of tired, even 1 second from it. Asta's kind of blocking the sun with his limitless, and seems to just be cool off half the damn time. But of course, this is where they say, why are you wearing pants and a jacket? Do you not see how hot it's out here? All of them question for a second. Noelle kind of like goes back to her senses and says, what just happened? Asta like, he kind of squats down and kind of sees towards Noelle's eye level and all that. That's where Asta says, he kind of puts up his glasses and kind of puts down his mask and says, welcome back, beautiful. You had a nice sleep, didn't you? This is where Noelle's face becomes red again and passes out. This time she has a blood nose. This is where, well, Asta loves teasing people. Of course, after that happening for Noelle, that's where they all realize that Asta is pretty much a big tease. This is where, well, Gojo is kind of worried about his little sister because he does not want Asta to be anywhere near his little sister when he's pretty much like Finro, but even worse because he can actually make girls kind of fall in love with him. This is where Asta's not going to do that because you see here, he's not into little kids. He's not a pedo. So, of course, where, well, Yami says, okay, all of you just shut up. We're going towards the sea temple. I never said that there was a fucking beach day for you, idiot. This is where, well, they all say, huh? But, sir, I thought it was. This is where Yami says, no, now you idiots, listen up. We're going to the underwater sea temple. Now, the only person that's going to get us there is... He looks at Asta for a second, then thinks, no, I don't think he'd be able to. He then says, Noelle. This is where Noelle wakes up and says, ha, what are we talking about? This is where, well, he says, oh, right, she does have water magic, so she will make us something to get there. This is where Noelle says, but how? This is where, well, I don't have great magic control. This is where Yami says, figure it out. You only have a week to do this. If you don't, then we're all dead. Asta says, I see. So control of magic. That's what's the problem that you have. Okay. This is where Asta only thinks in his head. This is where, well, Nashi's kind of like in the water, kind of just playing with the water. Because first of all, he's not really part of the squad. But this is where, well, Charmy then asks, who's the kid? This is where, well, they all realize one thing. The kid. What? Why is he here? This is where Yami says, that's Asta's little brother. He's only a part of the squad temporary because, well, Asta wanted to bring him along. Yeah? Do you have a fucking problem with that? Asta said. This is where, well, none of them says no. This is where Gojo says, why couldn't I bring my sister then? Because no, you see here, you're not allowed. Unlike him, well, you see here, he can. This is where Gojo gets angry, but yeah. This is where Asta says, huh? Little sister. Is that why he was talking about it? He must be having a, what's it called, complex with his sister. Weird. Hella weird. This is where, well, Asta for some reason remembers like the, what's it called, Hyugas, and how they were extremely fucking weird. And this is where Asta says, must be a Hyuga or something. Fuck that. But of course, we go into the night and all that. Noelle's trying to train in her water magic. This is where Junko says, you want help? This is where Noelle says, yeah, please. This is where, well, Junko says, good, yeah, I can help you. This is where, well, Noelle says, thank you. This is where Asta says, you sure you don't need help from me neither? This is where both of them turns around, and this is where Asta is walking out. Of course, he doesn't have a, what's it called, jacket, because he kind of had it to be forced by Nosh to kind of, like, wear swim suit and all that, like a swim outfit and all that, beach outfit. This is where Asta doesn't have a shirt, and of course his pearlish white skin is showing with his abs. And of course this is where his abs are pretty much lean and all that. This is where, well, his jacket's off because he has to take it off. And he is wearing shorts. Well, kind of. Like most of these shorts, someone. This is where, well, both Noelle and Junko wanted to bleed so much because, well, they're having so many pervert thoughts. And this is where Asta says, you girls are really perverted, you know that? This is where both of them say, huh? No, we're not. You don't know about that. That's why I also say, uh-huh. Okay, yeah, you know what? I should probably not judge a book, shouldn't I? This is where they say, yeah, This is where, well, Noelle kind of went to Marine. This is where Junko, she could not resist. She just kind of bleed and kind of passes out. But yeah. This is where, well, we go into, well, them kind of training. Even though Noelle is trying her hardest best not to blush and have blood nose like Junko, she is trying to concentrate and all that. That's why Asta says, Asta does have his, like, shades up and all that. Because if he does use 6 eyes, it kind of hurts his eyes a lot if he overdoes it. So yeah. So of course that's why he has shades and blindfolds, because yes, that still affects him. This is where, well, Asta is looking at, well, the kind of little magic juice, how Noelle's using it, and Asta can see the flow and all that. That's why Asta says, I see. Why are you kind of restraining so much mana away from yourself, Noelle? Noelle said, because I can. I'm noble. Why will you question me anyway? Because that's the problem you have. The reason why your magic is not being that great is the fact that you're trying to perfect it. You should let go of your mana. If you let go of your mana, you might be able to create something new. Letting go of the flow of the mana probably will let you kind of be able to control it. This is where Noelle said, this is where, well, Noelle kind of does this unconsciously, and of course does let go of the mana flow, and this is where it kind of explodes, and this is where she says, no, I'm losing control. Asta says, calm down. This is where, well, Asta is kind of like saying, calm down. Well, This is where, well, Noah's like, huh? Why is his voice so much more calming now? Asta is kind of using what's it called, not curse speech and all that, because he's not like, what's it called, Yuta, like, and what's it called, in Jujutsu Kaisen, or he's Gojo. But of course, well, he's not using like curse speech and all that. He's basically using a jutsu that Kakashi managed to copy, thanks to the fact that he was the ninja of the Taoist jutsus. So of course he remembers his jutsu. That's where he kind of like uses it, and it was called calming voice. It was a jutsu from an enemy that tried to basically make his Anbu kind of like years kind of like calm and tried to assassinate him. But of course, it worked well. Asta at that time, since Kakashi was depressed and all that, he didn't have any calming thoughts. So of course, he fucked up this ninja really bad. But before doing that, copied his fucking jutsu and say, this shit might be coming in handy later. And of course, it was. Does it work well? No, well, this ain't. Does it work well? She's trying to control her magic. And this is where they do. Well, before that, they did kind of hear singing from Kyoho, because yes, they met her. But yeah. This is where Kyoho's face was complete red every time she was looking at Asta. But before that, yeah. Of course, this is where Kyoho can see how Asta is doing it. But of course, still seems no magic when he's doing it. This is where, well, Asta kind of says, are you fine? This is where Noelle managed to control and make the water crater, the water dragon crater. And of course, this is where she says, I'm fine. This is where she realized that she's actually creating something new. And she's excited. This is where then she kind of realized that she's still up here, and then loses control and falls. This is where I also managed to catch her by kind of flying. This is where Asta says, you fine? Noah's face was completely red and passes out. For some reason, she was truly thinking of like a princess and a prince. Even though Asta's pretty much not a prince and just looks this good because he's the reincarnation of like two people. And besides, he does have what's called metallic magic. This is where everyone realized that Noelle managed to create something powerful. And this is where, well, they realized that they are ready. This is where, well, Noelle just trained for the couple of remaining days, like 3 days. And of course, this is where, well, Yami says, you might have been able to control it perfectly, but just realize, if you lose control, we will die. This is where Noelle says, I'm ready. This is where, well, she starts kind of like making it, and of course, this is where, well, they get in it, and of course, they're flying. Well, not flying, mostly swimming through it. Of course, this is where Gray is big and all that, and of course doesn't want to transform into something else, because yeah, they gotta say, Gray, you need to become something bigger or something. Not bigger, smaller. This is where Gray was about to turn into Charmy, until Asta says lightning style. Lightning, what's it called? Not lightning. He says lightning style, lightning in the race. This is where Asta just sends a lightning bolt at, well, Gray. Even though the chakra base will not really affect magic, it still kind of zaps off, well, something. And this is where when what's called Gray was hit, Gray turns into a girl and says, what just happened? This is where, well, everyone says, huh, is that really Gray? This is where Gray says, what just happened? I just was about to transform to Charmy. This is where, well, Yami says, seriously, that's what Gray looks like? Also says, of course. With my eyes, I actually figured out that Gray kind of looks completely different from her actual true self. Yeah, I just had it to kind of destroy it before you people tried to crush me and tried to get over to my space. This is where Gray said, why? Fucking transform into something else. If you didn't want me to do it, then don't fucking become super big. This is where Gray goes, Asta just grabs her and puts her next to Gojo and says, here, you deal with her. This is where Gojo says, hey, you motherfucker, I was looking at Fisher Marie. Don't give a shit. This is where Asta is next to Nash, and Nash says, was it really necessary for me to go? Asta says, why not? Besides, you still gotta be able to use your grimoire anyway. Asta gives his the red grimoire towards Nash, and Nash says, can I use that form? No, Asta said very sternly. This is where everyone was kind of confused. First of all, they're confused with Nash having a grimoire, even though he's like a fucking child still. But at the same time, they're kind of even more shocked when Asta, his very lax tone, very chill and all that, very laid back chill tone was kind of gone after kind of hearing that no. This is where Nash says, okay. Asta sighs and says, Nash, you realize that form is dangerous. You haven't been able to control with the amount of flow anyway. you're still not strong enough to kind of use that form. It's still dangerous. This is where, well, they kind of then hear the sincerity on, well, Asta's voice, and this is where Nash nodded and says, fine, I won't use it. But can I use the other, well, ability from it? Fine. Just nothing below, well, above that. Got it? Nothing above blue. This is where Nash says, fine. Can I not use a little bit of purple? No. Asta says, God damn it, Nash. Do you not listen? I say nothing above fucking blue and you say it's purple. This is where they're confused in what Nosh actually has. And of course, this is where Nosh says, fine. This is where they were about to ask until they see the barrier and all that. The kind of like barrier that was there, the water barrier. And of course, this is where, well, they do get through the, well, not twisters. They just see the barrier. And of course, this is where Asta says, I got this. Asta jumps out of it. And of course, this is where, well, and the one's like, Asta. Asta can already swim, but kind of uses his limitless because it's basically around him. Water can't really wet him that much. That's where Asta says, sword can be, what's it called? Sword, what's it called? He then creates, like a sword in thin air and says, well, 2 swords. And this is where these 2 swords are made out of titanium. And he just cuts through horizontal and vertical at, well, the water barrier, managing to make like a hole for, well, the water creator to get through. And of course, it worked. Well, when they get through, no one says, what just happened? Also says, I just managed to make something so you can go through by it. But yeah. But of course, I'm going to leave it off here because I need to go do something. But here you, but yeah. Have a nice potato day, potato night, potato, see, potato, and good night. But yeah, bye.